What's the deal, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Honey. Oh, I'm so glad to be here. I miss you guys. Oh, I really should get more interested in other people's business, and then maybe I could do like a weekly blog post. I just don't care enough to do anything other than comment on other people's videos. Like, I have such a different way of looking at things. It's no good. I don't need to let the public in on what's going on in here, but I love doing my reviews. So I'm so excited to be here to do a review for Real Housewives of Potomac. This was actually a really, really good episode, you guys. I enjoyed it. It was a little emotional. On a lot of different fronts. There was a lot of crying going on, except from Gizelle. You know, she doesn't really have, technically, I think she lost her tear ducts in the divorce. But yeah, so before we get going too good, you guys know my goal is to have 1,000 subscribers by the end of June. So if you are listening for the first time, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. I promise you won't regret it, as well as giving me a thumbs up and join the notification gang. And that is to hit that little bell down there, and that lets you know when I come out with new reviews. And that's mostly what I do. I do reviews. Things may grow a little bit more, but right now what I'm super passionate about is television reviews. So I have Power coming up, as well as Queen Sugar. So hit that notification bell, join the notification gang, so you can know when I have a new review posted, okay? And as always, you guys know, if you follow me at all, we always talk about it down below, so don't forget to comment either, okay? Okay, let's do it. I'm so excited to be here with you guys. I just love you. Okay, let's do it. Okay, so this is Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 2, Episode 7, Over the River and Through the Woods. Alright, so we start out with Monique and her cousin / assistant is at the Ashburn house, which is a house that Chris and Monique had when they first got married. She has been the property manager for all of their properties, but now she needs a little bit more help, and they are there to do some repairs. She didn't want to sell the property. It has a special meaning for her, so they rent their properties out, which I think is smart. To Karen, and this episode was a big episode for Karen because Karen is a part of an organization called PAVE, and this organization is really there to sort of help and empower, you know, people who have been victims of sexual violence. And they are having a big award ceremony coming up, an event just to bring more exposure. And Karen is going to be the last speaker of the night. It's a big moment, and it's at this moment when she is talking to the VP of the organization PAVE. Her name is Angela. They obviously are close, and this is obviously an organization she works closely with, because they seem close. And she tells us that, you know, while in college, she was date raped. You know, she went out with the guy. She didn't follow her instincts. She said she probably should have never even been out with the guy. And they didn't even make it to dinner before she was brutally attacked and raped. And she told her parents, but she never told anyone else. She never reported it to the police or anything. And she said really it wasn't until her attacker died that she said, you know what, I need to get up and I need to do something with everything that I'm feeling, everything that is going on with me. She said it was just like a call to action to really, really speak out and to help other young people know that they are not alone. There's nothing wrong with them. It was a really, really, really good moment. It was an emotional moment, and it definitely showed us a different side of Karen. Yeah. So I think it's a great cause, and it certainly is needed. One of the things that she attached to the movement was about bullying, cyberbullying, and kids are killing themselves at an alarming rate. You guys may not know, but I had a nephew that killed himself. And yeah, I mean, it's important. It's important for people to realize that they have a power and they have a voice, and they don't have to accept the labels or the violence that other people are trying to put on them. They need to, speak out and be heard. So, really, really great cause. Kudos to Karen for that. Then we look at Robyn and Gizelle, and they're riding along. And anyway, they're on their way. They're talking, and Robyn is telling her that she's been really, really thinking about Ashley getting all into her marital or ex-marriage business, her and Juan's business, and it has really actually made her angry. And of course, Gizelle, who is she's just designed to be nasty. Like, she doesn't try to give her a better approach or hear her friend out. So basically what Robyn is saying, she really, really takes issue with the way Ashley approached the situation as opposed to Gizelle and Charisse, because Gizelle and Charisse came to her privately and sat down with her and talked with her out of concern. She feels like Ashley is being just a little bit more messy, and that makes her angry. And so they two together, Gizelle and Robyn, decide to go down to Oz, where Ashley is working, and talk to her about it. So we see Ashley. She's at the restaurant. She's running around like a chicken with her head cut off. She's got staff calling out. She's got a full bar. She's got to be the bartender and the waitress as well as the manager. And she is running her business. In walks Gizelle and Robyn. They just kind of roll up on her, and she's like, "Hey, how y'all doing?" She has this uncanny ability to forget that she has sort of done some things that may cause some discourse or may not have been in the best way. She just has a way of speaking and acting like it never happened. I mean, she's really, really good at that. And so she was like, "Come on in, have a seat." They were like, no, we're not going to have a seat. And then Gizelle looks at Robyn like, "Go." And Robyn is like, "I just came to tell you that I want you to stay the fuck out of my business." And Ashley's like, "I mean, what are you talking about? I will stay. I mean," and then Gizelle just jumps in. She just jumps in. What you did was you're being messy because you came to me and made it seem like you were doing it in Robyn's best interest. And then I find out after I leave, you're sitting there and you're talking. You continue to talk about the situation with people that everybody else. And she was like, "That's not right," and so Ashley was like, fine, I will stay out of it. I'm done with it. Let that be it." Meanwhile, Robyn is still talking, and she's getting closer and closer and closer. She's been pretty aggressive. And see, the look on Robyn's face it was almost like she wasn't talking to Ashley. It kind of seemed like she was talking to Juan to me. Or maybe she was talking to her pain. That look on her face was one of fear. It seemed like it had been pent up. The way she was talking, you don't know what's going on in our relationship. You don't have anything to do with that. If I'm going to do this, she just kind of seemed like she had some stuff she wanted to say. Maybe she should have been saying it to Juan, but she was saying it to Ashley. That's just me. You guys tell me what you think about that. Meanwhile, Ashley's like, "You guys need to leave. That's fine, whatever, you guys need to leave." And Gizelle says, "And you owe Charisse an apology too. You don't need to be in her marriage." Okay, back up, Gizelle, because didn't you and Charisse start the season being mad as hell at each other because you went on What's Happening Live? Watch What's Happening Live and told that she was seeing a firefighter on her husband. Come on now, Gizelle. Come on, bring it down. Bring it down. You have no room, rhyme, or reason for chastising Ashley at all. You know, and I know it's the show. It would be boring if they were to call her up and set up an appointment to come and meet with her and talk to her rationally. I know nobody wants to see that. I understand that. It's important for us to get, you know, TV to be as salacious as possible. I've accepted that, okay? But at the same time, what you're not finna do, Gizelle, is sit up on the screen and be a hypocrite. I looked high and low for any information I could find out about Gizelle as a first lady. I cannot imagine this chick was the kind of first lady that we think of when we think of a first lady. I mean, she is such a horrible, cold-hearted, backstabbing. She has a vicious tongue. And she has an extremely critical personality. That's all I have to say about Gizelle. And I'm starting to look at her as not pretty now because of it. And then she tells Ashley she needs to mind her failing restaurant and mind her failing marriage. Really, Gizelle? Really? Was that necessary? First of all, why are you fighting Robyn's battle? Obviously, Robyn is able to fight her own battles. Okay, she don't need you to talk for her. You know, and if you were going to talk for her, it was a way to get that done. I don't think this was it. So afterwards, Ashley calls her husband, and he's upset that it happened in front of the patrons and stuff. And she's like, I'm upset about it too. And let's just move on from there. Just the look on Robyn's face. I wish you guys could have seen that. And then Gizelle gonna threaten her. You just don't know what you're dealing with Charisse. Charisse will drag you. Well, Charisse was gonna drag you too, ma'am, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, girl, get down off your high horse before you break your doggone neck, Gizelle. So then we see Charisse and Skylar, and they're both looking for journals. And Charisse takes this opportunity to tell Skylar that, you know, her and Dad may not be together. And Skylar was like, well, he's never really been around like that. You know, he's always worked somewhere else. He's always traveled. And then even when he's not working, he still doesn't come home. So, I mean, it's not like I'm going to be devastated by him not being present. She said, well, he's going to always love you. He's always going to love Jackson, but he probably not going to love me so much. You know, she said there isn't any paperwork or anything, but, you know, definitely we're headed in that direction. And, you know, I think she was waiting for Skylar to be a little bit more emotional, and she was just like, you know, and then Charisse got emotional. She started crying, and, you know, this is second cry already. And, she just was telling her daughter, you know, she kind of needed her daughter's support and hug, and her daughter gave all that to her. And, you know, I just kind of need you to really stick by me and all that type of thing through this whole thing. I'm like, be real careful with that. Be real gentle with that now, because, you know, you don't want your daughter's not going to be your best friend like that. You don't need to be bringing her in your marital business like that. So anyway, I'm sure Charisse is a smart girl. Anyway. So we see Monique and Chris, they're out on a fishing date, and all I can remember is her just talking, constantly talking, and him just kind of chiming in here and there where he could get a word in edgewise. I had someone ask me on, I think my last review for Housewives of Potomac, I'm sorry, I forgot your name. I'll put it down here somewhere. If I thought that Monique really loved Chris, and I think she does love him. I think she loves him because she's a chatterbox, and he's a great listener. So, I mean, what's not to love? He's got money. He's got a sense of family. They've got beautiful kids together. And he does not mind the fact that she does not know how to shut up. So that was really cute. Then we see Gizelle and Karen. Karen is doing community service. She invites Gizelle out, and her and Gizelle have an opportunity to talk. Gizelle does not bring up Ashley and the Oz restaurant situation. But she does bring up Monique. And so they have a little bit of conversation about Monique, at which point Karen tells Gizelle that Monique called her a trick. And Gizelle was like, well, this must not have been when I was here. And Karen was like, no, it was after you had left. So Gizelle was like, interesting. And then in her confessional, she goes through this long diatribe about having money and having status and having homes and all of this. But obviously you don't have the sense, the brains it takes to make over 5-syllable word or 5-letter word or something, 4-letter word. Well, first of all, she called you a trick, which is 5. Oh, second of all, Gizelle, you got a problem with the fact that Monique got a husband that loves her and she is living in the lap of luxury. You are jealous. You jealous. Okay? Super jealous. Sidebar, do you guys notice in Karen's confessional, she got some big silver earrings on that are literally pulling her earlobe. Like, her earlobe is jiggling. I was like, is that a flap of skin? What is that on her ear? It's her ear. Anyway, sidebar. So she's supposed to be reading Monique for filth in her confessional. It's just coming across as so jealous hearted. Oh, you are so jealous hearted. So then we see and Karen invites Gizelle to the PAVE event. Okay, so then we see Robyn and Juan, and Robyn is working on their camp. Juan has a camp, a basketball camp, and she's working on all of that. We find out that this camp is a means of income, an income stream for them. So she really tries to stay on top of it. And basically he comes in, she does everything, she sets everything up, she maintains the website, she answers all the emails, she tells him, you know, what his schedule needs to be, and you know, when are you getting a haircut, what day are you going to do your photo shoot, the same day I get a haircut, okay, what day are you getting a haircut, I think I'll get it on Friday, you're going to wait all the way to Friday, okay, Wednesday. So she tries to talk to him about maybe job choices, you know, have you heard anything, are you going to do, he gets a little irritated about talking about it, you know, saying that he hasn't heard from anybody and he's not calling after anybody, and you know, he gets a little short tempered with her, and he says, I gotta run some errands. He goes on upstairs, and she's still working on the website. Meanwhile, she's wrapping it up and trying to head upstairs. He's upstairs in the closet with a producer, and he is talking to the producer about his feelings. I'm not sure how that conversation came about, because when they did the in between scenes at a commercial, or rolling into a commercial, they played it like he was on the phone, but come to find out he's talking to a producer, right? And he is talking to the producer about he, you know, like I said, he seems upset. He says he wants more out of life. He wants to share his life with someone, you know, and if it wasn't for his sons, the kids, the boys, then he would have been gone. Well, the producer asked him, do you want to be with her? Are you, you know, is she the person you want to be with, or something like that? And he said some garble something that, you know, they didn't put down at the bottom the words, and it's not really audible. He didn't want to admit it one way or another. So I was like, that's weird. Okay. First of all, why is the producer talking to him and he's mic'd up? Why does Juan seem irritated? Is there some conversation we have not seen? Or is he irritated with the fact that, I don't know. We're going to talk about this in a minute. So it's a weird conversation, okay? She is none the wiser. They're filming her walking around downstairs, tidying up, and then coming upstairs. Meanwhile, he's upstairs in the closet. In their closet, talking with a producer. It is odd. Okay, so Ashley goes to meet her mom and her brother Zach, and of course she tells them all about Gizelle and Robyn putting her putting their hands in her face and getting all aggressive with her. And her mom says, you know, that's not acceptable and you need to address it. Well, she says she's going to address it. She's going to go to the PAVE event and address it. So then we see Robyn and Charisse, and they meet with the therapist. Remember last episode, Charisse was going to set Robyn up with her therapist. So they meet in a coffee shop. It's supposed to be nice and casual. It's not actually like a therapy session. It's just sort of a meetup so you can see it's easy breezy, whatever process. And so they start talking, and you know, Robyn says she has a wall up because of his cheating. From him cheating in the past, she's not allowing him or anyone else to love her or to get in. And she, you know, and the therapist tells her that eventually the kids are going to realize that you guys are just content but not truly happy. And she breaks down and starts crying. Cry number 3 for the episode. And it's emotional. Charisse gets up and comes and hugs her and all of that. And it's a tough moment. Okay, so this is what I'm saying. You know, the therapist tells her she has to eventually just let the whole situation just go. So this is what I'm saying about the whole Juan situation. Is he saying he doesn't want to be with her? He wants to see someone else. He's seeing someone else. I want to be with other people. I want to date other people. I'm not sure if he's saying that. Or is he reacting to the fact that she does seem like mom to him? She seems like a nagger. She seems like the scheduler, the secretary. You know, that's her form of communication with him, is keeping him on course for doing what he's supposed to be doing. You know, this is what she has done all her life. She's been his sort of assistant, stylist, you know, secretary type, and she is continuing on with that mode, but not necessarily continuing on with being a loving, caring wife. You know what I'm saying? Because she's got this wall up. So is that the conversation that he's having with the producer? Is he saying, I want to be with somebody I can share my life with, you know, in a loving, caring, kind way? Or I don't want to be with my mama. I don't want to be with somebody who is going to continually punish me and keep me on the outside and treat me like, you know, they are part of my staff. Is that what he's saying? I want to get a man the benefit of the doubt and to hear out of her own mouth that she is not letting him in. Maybe that's the conversation he was having with the producer. You know, like this, you know, which is the house that Jack built. This is the Robyn that Juan has sort of created. So, you know, at some point they both have to talk it all out. I'm just trying to figure out, are they painting him as a cad because he's a cad? Or are we seeing Juan's residual reaction to trying to continually win her back and her putting the wall up? I don't know. All right, you guys tell me what you think about it. I'm just trying to, you know, look at it differently before I demonize a brother. Okay? So we see Karen at her PAVE event. It's a really, really beautiful event. There are a lot of really, really great people there. She lets Ashley know who gets there initially. Ashley's got a really super duper weird shape. Like, it's very, very adolescent. Her body is built kind of weird. She's got a really little tiny little dress on, but she always looks pulled together. She's always looked pretty. She's just got one of those challenging shapes, you know, for a small girl. You know, she's built a little different. Anyway, so Karen just, you know, tells her all the ladies look beautiful. Karen tells her she wants it to be about her, and they can schedule some time to talk a little bit later with Gizelle and Robyn and all of that. But tonight it's going to be all about her. Now, we already know the conversation that Karen has to have, so I can respect Karen for saying that. And Ashley agrees. Karen had a beautiful red dress on. Like I said, they all look beautiful. In comes Robyn and Gizelle. Giselle's got a nice little gold colored dress on, which kind of was like the same color as she was. So it was odd. And I have to tell you guys that Ashley calls Robyn and Gizelle the green-eyed sisters. And I love it. I think it's hilarious. I think it's hilarious because they both are so vicious at times. Robyn and Gizelle can be pretty vicious. But anyway, so in walks Robyn and Gizelle. Robyn had like this little floral dress on. It was my least favorite of dresses. I don't know. It was something about that floral print that made me feel like it was a picnic dress. I don't know. Maybe it was the flowers. And up walks Ashley to Gizelle and to Robyn, and she speaks to them both very, very pleasantly. And Gizelle acts like she's just not going to talk to her. And essentially, you know, she's kind of low-key snubbing her. And so, like I said, Ashley has the ability to act like she never offended anyone. Like there was never an argument, her fault or not, the day before. But again, she's trying to keep it cordial for Karen. And as soon as she walks off, Gizelle says something about that is the littlest dress. That is the smallest dress I have ever seen. You know, it's always something negative. That's her form of communication. Like I said, the girl has a cold, cold heart. Like she will talk about her own child like a dog. Like for real, Gizelle is out of control. That mouth is out of control. She's not a girlfriend that I could have because I already know you talking about me. I already know you talking about my house. I already know you talking about my stuff, my car, my husband. I already know you dogging me, you dragging me. You can't help it. You got something negative to say about everybody. It is a problem of yours. Again, I would love to know what kind of first lady she was. So, you know, Charisse and Monique get there. They both are dressed really, really pretty. They all sit down together, and Don Lemons is one of the guest speakers. He comes up and he tells his story. It was really very emotional. His speech was very emotional, and his story was very emotional. And you know, I was the fourth cry. Turns out when he was, from the time he was 6 to 30, he kept a secret about his mom's best friend, son, and his friends, what they did to him. You know, and he said finally, you know, after he had lost the first love of his life, he decided to come out, just like really, really come out and tell everything. You know, not just about being gay, but also about having been sexually assaulted, a victim of sexual violence. And yeah, it was emotional. And everybody stood up and clapped. It was a great speech. And of course, Gizelle says, Karen got to follow him. How's she going to follow that? I hope she got her stuff together. I was just like, Gizelle, I hope you bite your tongue. I hope you just severely bite your tongue. Like you deserve some shut mouth time. Seriously. And you could just see the look on Charisse's face. Charisse was like, shush. So Karen got up and Karen told her story, and everybody kind of gasped a little bit, because it was kind of shocking for everyone. None of the ladies seemed like they knew the story at all about what happened to Karen. And her husband was super supportive. It was a great speech that she gave. Again, it was very emotional. And everybody gave Karen a hug and just told her how proud they were of her and what an amazing job she did. Like I said, her husband was so supportive. It was a good moment for Karen. And I would hope that she could hold on to that moment and make us continue to like her. But no. I think that's just a small part of who Karen is. The bulk of her is bad and bougie. Okay, so we see Gizelle, Charisse, Monique, and Ashley meet sort of up in the lobby, and Charisse has got to leave. She's got another event. Ashley is speaking to everyone again. She speaks to Charisse. Charisse is not speaking, and she says something else to Charisse, and Charisse is not answering. It's so childish. It's so childish. Now again, I know we need this drama because nobody wants to see you guys ladies act right and carry yourselves with class. Nobody wants to see that. That's not what good TV ratings are made of, right? But at the same time, do you have to be childish on camera? Is that necessary? Is that prerequisite for you to be childish? No. You could have told her, you know what, I am not in a place where I could talk to you right now. But instead, you just act like she's not standing there. You just ignore every word that's coming out of her mouth until she get the picture. And then Gizelle jumps in, and Gizelle says, Ashley, maybe not now. Maybe you can. Well, I'm just trying to talk to her. She can't talk to me now. No, I'm just saying, obviously, she's not talking back to you. She's not in the mood to talk to you. So maybe you could do this another time. Monique is standing between Ashley and Charisse. And so she tells Gizelle, well, Gizelle, she speaks to Gizelle, and Gizelle, I would love to talk with you a little bit later. I was hoping we could exchange numbers so we can talk. And Gizelle was like, interesting. And so, Monique is trying to talk to her, but Gizelle is kind of blocking her a little bit with attitude. And so she tells Charisse, she says, did you tell her to say that? And Monique is like, what are you talking about? No one told me to say anything. And in her confessional, she was like, I have a brain. I can speak for myself. No, she didn't tell me that. And so she was like, oh, okay. And so Monique says, here's my phone. Will you put your number in it? And Gizelle was like, hold that thought. I'm not really sure if I want to do that just yet. So she walks off with Charisse, and her and Charisse are talking, and she's telling Charisse all of this hateful stuff about Monique, and it's just bad. It was a bad look. Charisse trying to calm you down. Charisse trying to dispel what you're saying. And you just continue on with it. Like, first of all, Charisse, that's bad form. You should have just called her out full blanks. Let's not do that. If you want to talk to her about what's going on. But again, that's not good TV. What we have to do is let all the ratchet play out. So we're just going to deal with that. But Gizelle, yeah, not a good look. So that's it. Gizelle just acted like a complete butthole. That's it for Real Housewives of Potomac. You guys let me know what you thought about this episode. What do you think about what my thoughts are on Juan and Robyn? Maybe it is her keeping them from being together. Maybe he does want to be with her. My only thing is that when he was asked very specifically about it, he never said, hell yeah, this is what I want. This is all that I've wanted. This is what I've been talking to her about, but she's not letting me in. He just gave us some jarble type of thing. I think he may just want out from underneath the whole relationship. That, at the same time, I feel like maybe he's angry with her because he doesn't want her to be a part of his new career. He doesn't want her to keep managing him like they're going to be together. I don't want you to know what I'm doing and the moves that I'm making. That's kind of how it seemed like to me. But I'm willing to be wrong. You guys let me know what you think. What did you guys think about Karen's story? How did you guys feel about it? Make you look at Karen in a different way, maybe a little bit, teeny tiny bit. Let's see what else. What do you guys think about the whole Ashley, Gizelle, Robyn blow up situation? Like, who goes into someone's job? I don't know. It was so. The way Robyn got all up in Ashley's face. It was such an attack mode. Like, it was such an aggressive thing to do. I personally don't think it had anything to do with Ashley. I think that was Robyn's way of venting all of her anger and stuff that she is not telling Juan. To me, she does seem like she's a little afraid of talking to Juan about the situation, of knowing what he has to say. She does seem like she doesn't want him to know that people are discussing it and talking about it. It's weird. You guys tell me what you think. I'm so confused. I need clarity. Okay, so that's it for Real Housewives of Potomac Season 2, Episode 7, Over the River and Through the Woods. Please remember to hit that subscribe button down below, as well as give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to leave me a comment, and remember the little bell. Okay, until next time, honeybees, I'll holla.